Hello and welcome to New Filmmakers Los Angeles in partnership with Movie Maker magazine. My name is Danny DeLillo and we're here at the South Park Center and I'm here with Adria Tennor with her movie Pie. Let's take a look at the clip.
Oh, Carol, it's gorgeous. I wish I knew how to make a pie. We don't do this enough.
We've never done this.
Oh, I know, I mean in the world. Women should do this for each other more often. Lady dates, it's nice to make coffee and pie for each other.
Not if you don't know how.
True.
Adria, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.
I loved your film. Everybody's got to see it, but for those that haven't,
Your legs crossed.
I know. Well, because I'm a bit nervous because the film. Once you've seen the film, you'll realize why. No, I'm just kidding because I'm a good person. But for those that haven't seen it, tell us a brief synopsis of your film.
So my film is about a woman who invites her friend over for homemade pie, and after she's eaten a slice of it, she divulges its secret and scandalous ingredient.
Okay, can I honestly say, there's a lot of films that come through New Filmmakers LA. There is not one remotely close to yours at all. It was brilliant, like a real dark comedic masterpiece.
Thank you.
And I didn't even recognize you at the beginning. I'm like, you were in this film as well. Like that was you played this amazing role. You transformed. Now, where did the inspiration come from in creating this story?
So this is inspired by a betrayal that happened in my life, and in my life I have taken things that have been really, really painful and difficult, and things that I thought no one would be able to relate to or really care about, things that are really, really personal. And when I write about them, it's very healing to me.
Yeah.
And mysteriously, the things that I think no one will care about and are so specific to me are the things that end up being super relatable and universal, and when people are like, that was awesome. So that's what inspired the film. And I also am really interested in this archetype of women who have been betrayed being pitted against each other. I think that's really a gender thing. I don't think it happens as much with men.
No.
And I really wanted to rewrite that, in fiction, but also I'd like to see that start to rewrite itself in the world. So
I love that you did that. Like I really do, and you absolutely made an excellent point. I hate the way that dynamic has existed, and that needs to change. I also congratulate you because when you make something that has got personal elements to you, I also think it's great because when you're an artist, there's therapy that's been found through making this, and now you're giving this to the world for everyone to enjoy pie. And it becomes this wonderful, piece that everyone gets to experience. It's a slice of pie, literally. And this film has you just intrigued from the first moment because you're consistently thinking, what is going on? And then both these incredible characters who are you're just intrigued by them and what is going on in their minds. And honestly, it's one of those films where your jaw is just going to drop because, once you discover it, and then you just think, wow, this is fantastic. Because it's amazing how you can side with these two amazing women and yeah, go for it. This is brilliant.
You're rooting for both of them.
You are rooting for both of them. And then the production value was just so beautiful. It almost felt like sort of 1950s sort of very kind of set in stone how things are done, laying down the pie. Everything was just very Mad Men. Yeah, it was like Mad Men, and that was so brilliantly done as well. These characters that are being created, they play so amazingly well opposite each other. Of course, you took one of the roles. How did the other process happen for the other actress?
So I just wrote it. When I was writing it, I really had Jessica in mind, and I knew her because we'd worked on Mad Men together, and I own and operate 4 restaurants in Los Angeles just as a side job, and she comes to a couple of them quite frequently. So we'd become even more friends that way. But I really had no idea if she would be down to do this. So I just sent her a little message, and she said, yeah, totally. Like, she just
Great.
really wanted to support a fellow female who was trying to, make a film.
Yeah, I love that.
But you talked about the production value,
Yeah,
so
the
can
value.
I just give some
Of
credit to some
course, because it was
amazing
so good.
people? So I worked with two DPs. We had two cameras, which was really great, so we could get terrific coverage. John Fillion and Finian Riley. And John is a Libra head operator, so really came up as a gaffer, really knew how to light. So he just really made that sunny look
Yeah,
amazing.
I love that. So good.
Yeah, and that was like, we talked about that last night. It was the apocalyptic rain of Los Angeles that day. So it was, usually in LA it's all sunny, but that was really, really beautifully lit, because that wasn't really how it looked. And then Denise Hudson was my production designer, and she's an Emmy-nominated production designer.
And you see why in this film, yeah.
She just has such an eye, and she picked those dresses out. Those are Trina Turk dresses. Trina's a friend of mine and Jessica's, and just really was able to put us each in our own dress and in our own world and our own side of the rooms. So anyway, those, I just wanted to shout out to those.
No, I mean, deservedly so. You had such a great team of people.
And our colorist is a woman
Yes.
named Jill Bogdanovich, and so it was really important to me. I really wanted to employ as many women. When I say employ, I mean have them collaborate with me for free, because I wasn't paying anyone. But I really wanted women to work on this, and so when we went to look for a colorist, we wanted a woman. And so just as a side note, it's a scientific fact that women see color better than men. It's just the way it is.
Women see a lot of things better than men, in my opinion, but that's another whole nother thing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But the coloring job is a real boys' club. There's only a handful of women that do it. So we picked Jill, and we sent her an email, and just appealed to her, and she was willing to do it. Yeah,
I love that, and I think that, and again, obviously, this was part of our celebration of Women's Independence Month anyway, and we should be we do, and with New Filmmakers, we certainly celebrate women all throughout the entire year. But what was it like, particularly last night? Because there are so many amazingly fantastic women out there that should be in these job positions. But last night was so great because New Filmmakers LA is in part with all of these amazing women directors. What was that experience like, and having your reaction with the audience from your film as well?
So let's answer the second one.
Yeah,
the second
sure.
question. I mean, I don't think there's anything better than people reacting to your film, especially a comedy. And the audience last night was amazing. They were laughing, and then they were groaning and squealing, and I cannot think of a better thing in life. People have asked me when I take the film to film festivals, what's your favorite part about making this film? Well, my favorite part is showing it to people and getting to hear them react to it. As far as, oh God, it was so awesome. It was such an amazing night. The work was so good, and I just felt so proud and grateful to be included in this caliber of filmmaking, and the sensitivity and the nuance that was on the screen was so beautiful to me. I just really, really appreciated that. I mean, I think I don't want to be sexist, but I think that women do have a really fine, gentle touch.
Yes.
Refined, or their work can be refined and subtle and nuanced and very heartfelt without being like, hey, this is what it is, And I'm not saying that in any disrespect to anyone. Men or women,
I agree. I really do.
Yeah.
And it was and so I don't know. Every single one, your film, we all really felt deeply for these characters, and that's something I think women are more personable, and I think I really do believe that, and so it's really great because we have a great relationship with the characters on camera as well, with that respect.
Yeah.
And I think it was great. I wanted more from your film. I was like, no, does it have to end? Like, I love the journey of these characters, and the moment it finished, I was like, no, this is a really great concept for a longer version. Is there any plans for that? Is that something you thought about yet?
You know, you are not the first person to ask me that. I hadn't thought about that. I have some other things that I'm working on. But I mean, the idea of these two women banding together, having been pitted together sort of as enemies, I mean, it's very Thelma and Louise, I feel like.
Of 2019.
Yeah.
Putting out there to the universe, just saying.
Yeah.
You know, what is next for you, though?
So I won a fellowship for a feature that I wrote. So that's one thing I'd really like to get done. And I felt like I needed to make these other smaller things before I took on a feature. The feature is called Never Been Born, and it's about a woman who is estranged from her developmentally disabled mother. And she comes home to take care of her mother because she's been badly beaten. And in the process of this convalescence of her mom, she comes to terms with this really disturbing childhood that she had because her mom was so ill-equipped to parent. So it really deals with disability and the fallibility of our parents, which I think a lot of people can identify with. And something that I just am now finishing with Mindy Elliott, who was a co-producer and editor of Pi. So in that fellowship that I won for Cinestory for my feature, I met a woman who is an accomplished young adult novelist and poet, and we collaborated to write this series called Fetish. It's about a woman, a single mom, freshly single, freshly divorced, down and out, traumatized. She gets abducted by an S&M wearing dog masked fetishist who dresses her in fur lingerie and asks her to read to him from Uncle Tom's Cabin, and then sets her free unscathed. So she goes home and is like, what just happened to me? So she researches fetishism, and it's kind of like Weeds, only with fetish porn. So this woman, she pulls herself up by her bootstraps and becomes a fetish fulfiller to support herself and her tween daughter.
I mean, it sounds like a winning concept for sure. Like, honestly, like I can't wait for that. I love your work. I just want to keep seeing more of it. I really do. And it's such an honor to have you at NewFilmmakers Los Angeles. And I just want to close a piece. Is there something you've learned in your career thus far, in your filmmaking career, of any advice you would give out to the world that will maybe want to follow in your footsteps?
Yeah, can I tell you two things?
Please.
So the first thing I kind of talked about, which is the things that I have felt like no one will care about and that are so personal and scary to even talk about because they're so embarrassing, so dark. Those are the things that I have found that I've had the most success with, the things I've been the most scared to share. So that's one thing I just want to say.
I love that.
And the second thing is that as a newer filmmaker, I feel like it took me a little while because I've surrounded myself with really experienced professionals, and I've just felt like they all knew better than I. They know more. They must know more, but nobody knows your story and how to tell it better than you.
Yeah.
So don't doubt yourself. Listen to all those people, but make sure that they're not, impeding your process of telling your story. Really trust yourself. I need to trust myself.
I know this is a really important piece of advice because things get carried away under the ether and they become something else, and it's very important to keep your story, make sure your story's heard, essentially. No, I love that. Adria, thank you so much, Pi. Thank you. We want to see all these great new things coming forward for you, but thank you for coming to NewFilmmakers LA. Adria 10, everybody. Thank you very much.